Hello, welcome or welcome back, my wonderful Cancerians. I, of course, am Joni Vovo, and this is Vovo Drag Tarot. I'm a performer based in Sydney's Inner West in Sydney, Australia. And I'm pretty impressed. I've had this mug on for a very long time. I painted it at midday, went to a photo shoot, then kept it on all day and went out tonight to Birdcage, and it's not too bad. Anyway, this is a general reading, so if Cancers, your sun, moon, or rising, this reading's for you. And I'm trying to make my intros a little shorter. I'll just say you're the master of your own fate. So don't take this as it's not prescriptive, it's not telling you what will happen, it's just giving you a bit of insight about what's going on right now, so you can make your own choices about your own life. So take it how it resonates, then do whatever the fuck you want with it. Okay? Alright, let's jump in. Oh, the sun. Awesome. Also, I'll just say I'm using a new deck, the Wild Unknown. I've learned the tarot cards back to front, but I'm a visual learner, so I know the pictures, not necessarily all the numbers and names and blah, blah, blah. So I may have to look up some cards just to double check that I interpret them correctly. But the sun's pretty obvious, so we're fine with that one. The sun, that's a great starting position. So maybe you feel like just everything's in the right place. Everything's working. You don't have to overthink. You don't have to stress. You can just go with the flow. You're in a good rhythm, good pattern. And everything in your life at the moment is just how it should be. So you're not thinking about changes. You're not thinking about like nothing's stressing you out too much. You're just in the flow, living life. Everything's good right now. Love it. Perfect starting position. Although it is the first card, so we'll see what emerges from here. But as a starting position, that's great. Just living your life. Thinking about today, enjoying what's happening in the moment. Love it. Wait, cats. Cats? But my two cats are in my room. They're growling at each other. Come on, girls. Get it together. All right, we'll see if I have to intervene. All right, otherwise we've got the Daughter of Wands in the past position. So Puskas. I don't know if this energy is influencing the reading. We'll see how it goes. In the past position, we've got the Page of Wands inverted. So the Page of Wands is someone who is trying to find their place in the world. They're like, oh, maybe I'll go in that direction. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe this is my passion. Maybe this is what I'm meant to do. Maybe, like, they've got a drive to find their place in the world, and they're, like, willing to give so many different things a go. So this is coming upside down, which may mean that you possibly have felt a bit stuck. Oh, cats. Oh, Jinx, Azuki, come on. Anyway, you may feel like you've felt a need to go towards something new, and you've tried a few different avenues. You're like, oh, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. And potentially you found that whilst you've been quite open and trying new paths, nothing's come of it. And you possibly maybe feel a bit burnt out. Like you've spread yourself thin. You're like, I'm open, I'll give anything a go. And in doing that, like that's great energy. Like being open and receptive is great, but maybe you've found that it didn't necessarily lead anywhere, and you might be feeling a bit burnt from that. Which is interesting that this came before the sun, right? So putting those two energies together, maybe whatever situation you're in now, maybe you were like, oh, maybe I should go on a different path. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should, change the course of what I'm doing. And maybe that didn't work out. And so instead you're like, okay, that didn't work out. I'm just going to focus on the here and now. And in some senses, by doing that, by bringing your focus right into not thinking about the past and the future, just being present in the now. Maybe you've found a level of acceptance and happiness about what you have right now, rather than trying to be like, oh, should I be doing something else? Should I be doing something better? Is this the best path for me? Is this the best course for me? Like, instead of overthinking it, you're just like, okay, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. Let's make the most of it. How does that sound? Does that resonate? All right, in the future energy, we've got the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, upside down. So the Mother of Pentacles is very practical, very pragmatic. They've got a big heart and they express that heart through their actions and what they do. Coming in upside down, it may be that you're overextending yourself and also neglecting taking care of yourself. So it may be that you've had too much of your energy and time and resources going outwards to other people, and maybe you're on a path to exhaustion, just to say. So you might find, even though you're like, okay, I'll just accept where my life is, accept what I have, focus on the here and now and work on that. It does seem that this current setting and situation you're in is possibly exhausting you. It's using a lot of your reserves, and it's going to be very important for you to practice boundaries and self-care. And maybe that's why you had this daughter of Wands energy before. Maybe you realize and know that your current situation is a little bit exhausting and has a bit of a cost. And you're like, okay, let's try something else. Let's find a different path. And that hasn't manifested. So you're like, all right, I'm here, I'm now. But perhaps you're still aware that whatever you're doing right here and now, even though it's good, maybe you enjoy it, maybe you're good at it, maybe it's successful, but you're like, this isn't sustainable. So at some point, I'm going to have to find a new path or a new direction. How does that resonate? If it resonates, I would love to hear your comments. If you care to share, I always love to hear how these readings apply. So feel free to share. If not, it's your life. If it's personal, keep it to yourself. That's fine. So the cross energy, so your current challenge, what you might be learning, your area of growth. We've got temperance. Exactly right. So if whatever you're in the midst of now, career, family, life, whatever it might be, if it is something that's costing you energy and is moving you towards exhaustion, then the challenge for you is how to bring balance back. How can you find a wonderful equilibrium of what you give out and what you receive, or what you can give to others and what you can give to yourself? It just generally seems that that's the thing that's out of whack, and maybe that's the long-term thing you're working on here. So what you're aware of about this situation is the Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles is all about generosity and abundance and being in a place where you have a lot to give. But in an ideal world, in an ideal situation, you have a lot to give, but then you're also able to receive in return. So it is abundance but it's ideally abundance of giving and receiving. So that's what's at the top of your mind at the moment. And this just sort of reinforces the Temperance card and the... Yes, Jinx? One sec, I'm just going to let the cat out. Jinxie! Out you go! Go on! Good girl! Go on, out! Alright, there we go. Just one cat in the room now, so there should be less cat drama. We've restored equilibrium and balance to the cat world. Yeah, so top of your mind... Wait, did I draw the next card already? No, I didn't. Top of your mind, how can you bring things back into balance? Basically, how can you get what you want and you receive as well in this situation? Or going back to the Daughter of Wands. Is it time to leave this situation? Can you transform this situation? Is there a new path for you out there where things will be in a better balance? All right, what you're unaware of what you're unaware of in this situation is the star upside down. So the star is all about, it's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's your driving force, your passion, what you feel you're here on earth to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be that you're here to change the world and make it a better place. Although we all have the capacity to do that in small matters, in medium matters, in large matters. But more to say, like, whatever your driving force is, whatever's important to you, what you value, the vision you see for your life and the world, came in upside down. So perhaps this new path forward, or if it's time to move on or transform this situation, the way that you're going to find that is by being in tune with your own values. So it might be time for you to do a bit of a deep dive and think, what's important to you? What are you passionate about? What energizes you and excites you and gets you leaping out of bed in the morning, other than the first coffee of the day, which is often my motivator. My eyes open, I'm like, oh, coffee. But hopefully for you, there's something a bit more deeper than that. And hopefully for me, there's something a bit more deeper than that as well. But, I don't undervalue the excitement of of a day's first coffee. All right, so let's get some advice for this situation. The 7 of Swords. Let me just double check. Again, new deck of cards. I'm pretty sure what the 7 of Swords is, but it has a fox on it as opposed to the original imagery. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I don't want to give you the wrong info. 7 of Swords. Yes, that's right. It is. So 7 of Swords is all about doing things in an unconventional way or in a sneaky way. Depends on how you want to shade it. Is it not to get into the binaries of good and bad, but is it innovative or is it sneaky and coercive? But anyway, it came in upside down, which means that, and this is in the advice, so your way forward, I get the impression, even though it came in upside down, I get the impression that whatever your way forward is, it is going to break convention. It is going to be different. And I think the upside down nature of it is that perhaps you've got a blockage to this. Perhaps you're stuck in your situation and you're like, this is the way things are, these are my options, this is what I have to choose from. And you perhaps you feel stuck. You're like, I can't see a way forward. None of the options that are here match what I value and what I want. What I want to invest, what I want to get out of it, blah, blah, blah. But I have a feeling the way forward for you may be an unconventional path. It might be something that you think is, oh, but that's ridiculous. That's not sensible. That's not what people in my situation do. So the way I'm reading this card is maybe you've got a bit of doubt, but you have the freedom to think outside the box to create your way forward, to bring balance back into this situation. Or to leave the situation. Up to you. Oh, what's that? The common Roman numerals, 7 of Cups in the external factors. Well, those two cards go very well together. We've got the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Cups. And 7 of Cups is all about having lots of options and not really being able to make heads and tails of it. You might be like, oh, I could do that, but I don't know how it'll go. I could do that, but maybe it won't turn out how I think. So it's kind of like there's a bit of confusion about how to proceed, but also how to interpret all the options that are ahead of you. So if we just bring these two cards together, perhaps the advice is, yes, there's lots of options. Yes, even if you write up a pros and cons list for each option, it might still not be clear. But perhaps your way forward is to flip things on their head and do things that might be a bit left of field, or, you know, maybe there's plan A, B, C, D. Maybe you'll do plan G. But it might be the outlier. It might be the one where you're like, that won't work. That's not how people navigate this situation. I mean, it is an option, but who does that? But I don't know, have a think. Maybe, you know, you don't have to follow the path of tradition. You don't have to do things the way they've always been done. Forge your own path. Figure out what works for you. Even if it's unconventional, even if it's weird, even if it has a risk that other people might not take. Maybe it's a risk you're willing to take. All right. What are we up to? Hopes and fears. Oh, the Daughter of Pentacles. So this is the Page of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And she is in a wonderful position of openness. She is willing to study, to ask questions, to learn, to try new things, to acknowledge that she doesn't have all the answers, she doesn't have all the skills, but she's open to learning them and to figuring it out. So whatever this new path is, you may feel that you're out of your depth, that you don't have all the information you need, but I mean, this came in hopes and fears, which is interesting. So maybe you're hoping for something new. You're hoping for a challenge. You're hoping for something that will be expansive and stretch your ability, test your ability. And I guess in the fear position is maybe you fear that you'll be out of your depth, that moving away from the known to the unknown is going to be maybe a daunting process that you don't feel you have everything you need to do. Well, it's up to you. Like I said at the start, make your own goddamn choices. But, you know, potentially, even if it's a bit unconventional and risky, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to grow as a person. So, I mean, and if you stay the course that you're currently in, you're destined for burnout. So something's got to change at some point. Either you're going to burn out and it's going to be sort of a, dare I say, tower moment where you're like, you're like, shit, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Or maybe you'll go, all right, I'm going to walk away from this and try something new. Don't quite know what to expect. Don't know if I've got all the skills, but I'm going to face it and I'm going to do my best. Sounds great. All right. Potential outcome. And I say potential because you have all the decision-making, what am I trying to say? The power is in your hands to decide how to proceed. Can't read it. 8 of Pentacles. Final outcome. It's gonna be hard work, but it's gonna be good work. It's gonna be something that you can invest in and build something. It's not, I mean, 8 is just before the 9, right? So work hard, invest, build up your skills, build your career, and it's going to lead you to the 9 of Pentacles of independence and abundance, and possibly even the 10 of Pentacles of being able to share that abundance with the people around you. I think that's wonderful. All right, my loves, I hope that was helpful. If you would like to support me, please hit like, hit subscribe. I also do personal readings. You can find the link in the description box below if you'd like to book that. Otherwise, follow me on Instagram, follow me on, I don't know, TikTok, Facebook, and all the socials. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, my loves. Bye for now. Bye.